Hey, welcome back, friends. If you want to join the friends, go ahead and hit that subscribe button down below. So today I'm going to be going over how to train Herblore during double experience weekend. So I'm not going to insult your intelligence and tell you exactly how to train Herblore. I assume that you guys all already know you take an unfinished potion and add a secondary to it. That's where you get the majority of your Herblore experience. So that could either mean some weird unfinished potions, but most times it's going to be the unfinished potion from any herbs. So basically just do that same as you always would, except you're going to be getting double the experience. So why is this so good? Herblore is a skill that you're going to be paying a decent amount of money to train up. So essentially during double experience weekend, you are getting half the GP per XP rate. And because Herblore is such a fast skill to train, and the majority of the time it takes to train is actually just gathering money for money making methods, this is going to make it extremely overpowered to do during double experience weekend. Probably not the best thing to do during double experience weekend, but definitely one of the top things to do. So there's going to be a couple of tips and tricks that I'm going to teach you, but the basics of Herblore are going to stay the same. So the first thing that you're going to want to know is whether or not to sell your potions now or later. That seems a little bit weird, but let me explain for a second. So essentially during double experience weekend, there's a lot of people training up Herblore. So what you have to take into consideration is that your potions are going to be worth less because so many people are making those potions. And all the primary and secondary ingredients are going to be worth a lot more during double experience weekend. So you're probably not going to be wanting to buy your ingredients for Herblore during this time, unless if it's absolutely necessary. You don't want to be buying your ingredients during this time. And you probably don't want to be selling your potions unless you really need that money for something else. There's going to be a couple exceptions. I'll explain those in a couple seconds. But in general, keep your potions until a week or two after double experience weekend if you can afford to have that money tied up for another week or two. The potions will go up pretty decently fast, but you will be losing a lot of extra money if you try to sell potions during double experience weekend. So during this double experience weekend, obviously you already know that you are going to be losing a lot of extra money, but it's not going to be nearly doubled, so that's not going to be a big deal. The exception to this, like I was talking about earlier, is going to be once you hit 45 Herblore, that really shouldn't be an issue anymore because all you have to do is make super potions. If you don't already know, the extreme potions are made from super potions, and another secondary for those are going to be actually herbs. So if you have a potion that you're trying to make, try to make super sets during the double experience weekend. It's going to be one of the cheaper ways of training up Herblore until you get to extremes. And you shouldn't be losing almost any money, and you can actually sell the potions during double experience weekend because you'll probably have a lot of people trying to buy the super sets, that way they can make the extremes. So once you hit 45 Herblore, start making super attack potions and try to find the best GP per XP method of doing it by making any super set. It's not going to be the best XP per hour probably, but as long as you are super strapped for time, this is going to be the potion that you can actually sell during double experience weekend, so you can have that money a little bit more liquid. So that's my personal recommendation. Next up is once you hit 88 Herblore, you can start making extreme potions, and I would strongly recommend doing that. Obviously, you don't have to sell the extreme potions, and you know exactly the GP per XP when you get into it. You're not having to worry about trying to sell anything during double experience weekend or worried about not getting as much money as you think you're going to get back. Any money you put into it, you're putting that down the drain, but you're doing it for the extreme potions. One thing that I messed up when I was doing Herblore is that I actually made a lot of extreme attack potions, I believe, and I didn't make many of the extreme ranging potions because they were the most expensive to make at the time. That actually ended up costing me more GP per XP than if I had just done it the right way to start out with. And let me explain for a second. So I paid maybe like 20 GP per XP for this extreme attack potions, but it was like 30 GP per XP for the extreme ranging potions to make those. So I figured I'd just make a lot of extreme attacks. What I didn't take into account is that I now don't have an equal amount of extreme potions to make the overload potions. So overloads would be extremely fast experience and extremely cheap experience on top of what you already were paying for the extreme potions. The Torstols don't actually cost that much, assuming that you already have the extreme potions. But because I made unequivalent amounts of all these potions, it ended up actually costing me more money to train up Herblore in the long run. So make sure you're actually making equal amounts of extreme attack, strength, range, magic, and defense. Obviously, you need the different levels to actually make all those potions, but try to make 2,000 of each and then make 2,000 overloads after you're done with that. Just to be more efficient with your account GP wise, as well as trying to make the most amount that you can out of every single gold piece. Another thing you could take into account is overloads is no longer the best potion in the game. Now that Priffindus has come out, assuming that you have Priffindus unlocked, you can actually increase the overloads even more. You can make them into holy overloads or searing overloads or extreme overloads, I believe they're called. So go ahead and take a look at those and try to take that into consideration with your calculations, because you're no longer going to need to get to 99 using only overload potions. You'll get a little bit of extra XP every single time you make an overload, just because you can make them into the higher level overload potions. I believe you only need, I don't remember if it's a super or an extreme potion to make the extreme overloads. I think it's actually just a super set. So take a look at that, make sure you're taking that into consideration. That's basically what most of you guys are going to want to do during Double Experience Weekend. You're going to want to train up as far as you can with supersets. Once you get extremes, start making extremes so you can make overloads, and then once you have enough overloads that you feel like you're going to be set for a while, start upgrading them with the Priffindus potions. It's a small little upgrade, doesn't seem like much, but it ends up being like a 3 or 6% increase to your DPS, so it's a big deal with higher level PVM, so make sure you're upgrading all of your overloads. So there's going to be two different alternatives that I want to mention during this. I wouldn't necessarily recommend doing them over top of something else, but if you don't have the GP to do these other methods, it may be worthwhile doing the alternatives. Unfortunately, you don't have as much time to collect resources as I would have hoped before having this video out, but at least you'll have a couple of days if you see this as soon as I put it out. The first one is Weapon Poison Plus Pluses. I already have a guide as well as a video of me making 5,000 of them actually. So I would recommend looking at that if you want to see exactly how to make Weapon Poison Plus Pluses, but end result is you are making money while training Herblore. It does take a long time to collect all those cave nightshades, so if you plan on making or doing Herblore and you haven't already started collecting cave nightshades and you don't really have a decent way of making money, go ahead and look into that. I believe it does take like 85 Herblore or something around there, so it is a higher level way of doing it. But if you don't already have the money to do Herblore, you can make a decent amount of money by making Weapon Poison Plus Pluses and then selling those and using the money that you make from those to train more Herblore. The second thing that I want to mention is you can actually make Harlander Tars for a profit nowadays. What you do is you buy 1 Harlander Tar and 15 Swamp Tar. According to the GE prices, it's actually profitable. I would want to check those GE prices before you actually go around and start telling everybody that that's going to be your best method for training Herblore. You're going to want to check to make sure the GE prices haven't changed around. But because of Invention Update, Harlander Tar is actually a really good method of getting simple parts. So a lot of people are disassembling Harlander Tar, which makes it a really fast and really cheap, or actually profitable way of training up Herblore. It's not going to be as fast as your other methods, but again, if you are just trying to figure out a way of training up your Herblore and you don't have any money on you right now, go ahead and take a look into Harlander Tars. It may be worth your time. If you guys all enjoy this video, go ahead and hit that like button down below, show your support. I'd love it if you leave a comment saying if you're planning on training Herblore, if you plan on using Weapon, Poison, Plus Pluses, or Harlander Tar to train up Herblore during this weekend. And I would love it if you subscribe, join the friends. As always though, have a good one.